Millen McFarland Sr., or just DeVincent A. McFarland Sr., rather, candidate for mayor of Wayne 2028, Wayne, Michigan, that is. Not Wayne, Nebraska, not Wayne, New Jersey. City of Wayne, Michigan. And hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hope everybody's having a fantastic time. I believe I am. I just bought me a nice new axe splitting, or wood splitting axe, a Fiskars, so we're going to be really excited to use that after our doctor's appointment tomorrow, because we, again, that incompetence displayed by the city of Wayne had some real consequences. And one of those real consequences was heart palpitations and lack of sleep, lack of nutrition. Definitely no low salt diet whatsoever. Lots of medical complications as the direct result of being locked in a cage for a law that doesn't actually exist. So I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Got to make sure I try to mediate as much of the damage that was caused to me, both physically and mentally. I've tried to mitigate as much of that as humanly possible, but some of it, the damage was done. The damage has already been done, and we'll see. But we did get, I guess, probably the biggest hurdle out of the way today. We did get the first lawsuit filed for the fire pit saga that actually began 4 weeks after moving to Wayne, March 28, 2024. So we have a lawsuit filed for that. So that's an important hurdle, first step, and we'll see what happens. But the title of the video, Blue Falcons. What are Blue Falcons? Well, the city of Wayne, the cases, the fire pit case, city of Wayne versus McFarland, that fire pit case exemplifies Blue Falcons in a nutshell, because the complainant, the person who called the city of Wayne PD and fire department, Dennis Danielson, who lives on Glenwood Road, on the corner of Glenwood Road and Laurenwood. He's an 80-year-old Navy veteran, right? So, like I said before, guys, the people that will stab you in the back the hardest are Blue Falcons, right? Like, if you're a military guy, the people that have it out for you the worst are other military guys, right? So Dennis Danielson kept on, making frivolous complaints to the Wayne PD and the Wayne Fire Department. 80-year-old Navy veteran, right? Navy veteran. And that's a little friendly rivalry, right, between the Army and the Navy. But this Navy veteran, Mr. Danielson, he decided to make all these frivolous complaints. And as a result of that, the police decided to, break into my house to enforce a law that doesn't exist, because, they just don't like me. And so, it was just a pretext, right? It was an excuse. But I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. I got to run in here before they close. And we are back. Sorry about that, everybody. So apparently not every CVS location is a UPS drop-off location, which I never knew that. I just figured they all were, but that's my ignorance. You didn't take anything out of my car while I was gone? I mean, there's not much to take, man. There's some change, I guess, probably a couple dollars in change. Definitely would not find a roach or anything of that nature. Definitely no marijuana paraphernalia or anything like that, right? But yeah, I don't really think there'd be much. It's a newer car, it's 2025 Camry, so that's been in 3 collisions. No fault collisions, just basically got hit every single time. So I don't know, guys. I mean, shit. Take what you want, Joe. Take what you want, buddy. If you need it that bad, buddy, you can have it. You can have it, my friend. But no, I hope everyone's having a great New Year so far. Like I said, guys, we're gonna be having an open burn-a-thon, right? An annual open burn-a-thon. Obviously, it's going to be controlled. It's not really going to be an open burn because it's going to be more of a contained fire. But yeah, we're definitely going to have some sort of a celebration to celebrate the hero that is John Zook Jr., who tragically lost his life to the City of Wayne Police Department on June 24th, 2024. Mr. Zook was a combat veteran. He served in the, I think the 82nd Airborne, if I'm not mistaken. And just an all-around great guy. And so my condolences again go out to the family, and to his children, and just never should have happened. And I would like to believe if I had been the mayor of Wayne, I would have definitely made sure at the very least the police officer gets shit canned. But best case scenario, he goes to prison for murder, right? At least advocate for it, right? I would never, based on what I saw, there's no doubt as to what occurred. And it just goes to show, right? Like, these police officers want to these police officers want to play hero, right? They want to take the title of hero, but then they want to blast people because they have butter knives and shit, and you're here in full body armor, essentially, right? Armed to the gills, and you're scared of a guy in his boxers with a butter knife. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't add up. And to on top of that, insinuate that in any way, shape, or form you're heroic in any way, shape, or form is really just an insult to humanity, right? It's an insult to common sense, to intelligence. But yes, smack that like button. I really appreciate that. We could definitely use the additional engagement. Yeah, let's see what the comments. I love how guys keep their car clean, but then my dad, on the other hand. Hey, man, it's a struggle, man. It really is. Life's a struggle, and keeping shit clean is really the ultimate struggle. Because there's dirt balls everywhere, right? And there's, dirt everywhere and germs everywhere and shit that's constantly trying to kill you and take you out. And then we have municipalities like the city of Wayne, Michigan, Blue Falcons, right? Because Dennis Danielson's a Blue Falcon. He was the person who made these frivolous and false complaints about me on, March 28, 2024. We're not certain yet. We're not certain on if there was a complaint that was made or if the fire department just so happened to be driving by. But we'll figure that out. That's what we're going to court for. But definitely May 9th, May 19th, and July 5th was most definitely Dennis Danielson, the Gavy veteran. But like I said, guys, it's always the Blue Falcons, right? The nosy Blue Falcons that will fuck your shit up the hardest, right? So, and then of course on May 19th, Officer Jay Sermon with the Wayne Police Department decided to put his hands on me on my own private property, in my front yard, enforcing a law that doesn't exist without a warrant on my property, trying to command control of me on my property, trying to, essentially arrest me, right? Because, if you don't have freedom of movement, well then essentially you're detained, you're under arrest, right? Your freedoms are deprived from you. And, to be assaulted and battered, right? To have someone put their hands on you and try to, try to get you to react in a way that would give them, cause, right, to brutalize you. What a horrible situation to be in, right, for anyone. Definitely wouldn't want a family member having to go through that, nor would I want, even my worst enemy to go through that. There's ways to handle these situations, and disagreements are supposed to be argued in the public arena, right? Disagreements, civil discourse, right? We go and may the best arguments win, right? And well, that's obviously not what's occurring in the city of Wayne, Michigan. What's occurring is basically you either toe the knee, you bend the knee or toe the line to the status quo, or you pay the ultimate price. It could be a situation like John Zook Jr., where they just, find a reason to blow your brains out or to shoot you in the chest, fill you full of bullets, or, maybe they just lock you in a cage without due process, without even being here's another thing, guys, right, too, about this whole case. So May 9th, I get charged with interference, right? Well, May 10th, I got charged with threatening and obscene telecommunications, right? Another local ordinance, right? Well, I was arrested on this charge, as the paperwork states, on May 10th, but yet obviously I have no recollection of being arrested, and I certainly would have recorded it had the police came and arrested me on May 10th, and they didn't, right? So I was under arrest for a crime, never made aware of it until during the live arraignment, right? Until I was asked, how do I plead guilty, not guilty, no contest, right on the record, right? Not even before the hearing, right? No notice whatsoever of this this telecommunications charge, and it's just insane, right? So the lack of due process with that is just appalling, and shocks the senses, right? This is shocking to the senses, right? This type of shit, and and then to not even be notified of charges, right? You were under arrest. You were arrested on a charge. You were under arrest without ever even being notified, right? Like, how does somebody know they're not? How does somebody not know they're under arrest, right? Like, imagine you just like wake up and then one day, right? Like, let's say it's the first of the month. You wake up, it's the first of the month, and then, a month later, you're told that you were arrested a month ago, right? And you obviously have no recollection of this whatsoever. But yeah, you apparently were arrested and charged with a crime that you're not even notified or made aware of, right? And then, like, the day before your arraignment, right, they pushed the charge through the day before, a month later. So giving you no due process whatsoever, no time to review the discovery, right? No discovery either, mind you, but no chance to even know, to be made aware of what you're charged with, right? So, like, where's the due process at, right? Like, if I'm charged with a crime on May 10th, but then they don't actually put it in writing until July 2nd, or June 2nd rather, right? So June 2nd, right, the day before the arraignment on June 3rd, this charge is brought against you, right? So 3 weeks have passed, but apparently you were arrested on the same day because you called the fire marshal and left him a voicemail demanding that he call you back because he authored an open burn policy that was never codified into law by the city of Wayne, it never was codified, and it was instead just thrown on the city website, and they called it a day. So that person authors a bill, right, or a policy rather, authors a policy, and then has his subordinates break into your property to enforce that law that doesn't exist, right? So he ratifies these actions, and then he sends these people to your house, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times total. The police the police get sent to your house 3 times. The fire department's at your house 4 times, trying to enforce a policy that's not codified into law. That's authored by the fire marshal. Now, keep in mind, this same fire marshal does all of these certificate of occupancy inspections, right? So this guy literally goes around town doing these certificate of occupancy inspections, right? And he doesn't want to take responsibility for the fact that he approved this fire pit as it was, right? Because the City of Wayne Ordinance 1486 or 1484, I believe it is, there's an ordinance that requires a certificate of occupancy to be obtained before you can sell or transfer a property, right? So the person who sold the property to me, who built the house, he had to have a certificate of occupancy, which he did, which, part of that certificate of occupancy is an inspection by the fire department, and particularly the fire marshal. So the fire marshal does these fire safety inspections for the certificate of occupancy, right? But then he wants to retroactively, a month after I move into the property, 2 years later, he wants to retroactively say that the fire pit being utilized is somehow an unauthorized burn or a nuisance, right? Or something of that sort, right? That's what's in the fire report, an unauthorized burn, right? Which, again, how can it be unauthorized if there's no law outlawing open burning, and the fire pit where the open burn is occurring was approved by the city, by the fire marshal himself, right? So good luck explaining that one, City of Wayne. Good luck with that. Like I said, you guys are fucking idiots. You guys are fucking morons. You guys, like I said, a Montuckian with a junior college education, right? A Montcalm County, Michigan lifelong resident up until 10 years ago or so. But I grew up in Montcalm County, and that's my home, Montucky. It'll always be my home. I'm a Montuckian, and like I said again, in Montucky we seek the truth and nothing but the truth, and we certainly don't put up with any nigga bullshit, and we don't put up with fraud, right? Just outright fraud and deception, abuse of legal process, vindictive, malicious, retaliatory, slimeball, scumbag, pond scum behavior, right? We don't put up with that, and we certainly don't allow it around us and allow it to be transgressed upon us or other people, right? That's just our neighbors and ourselves, right, and our family members. I mean, that's just not how we roll. So it's just awfully funny though that a Montuckian from Montcalm County, right, had to break it down for you dumbasses, right? You Wayne Memorial idiots, right? It's just mind-blowing, right? And obviously not everyone who went to Wayne Memorial is an idiot, but it seems like those that went to Wayne Memorial that are in this government certainly are idiots or morons or incompetent or, and malicious, right? Et cetera, et cetera. They're definitely more than one thing. But yeah, incompetence is one of the big ingredients to their behavior. And it's just awfully funny though. It's awfully ironic, right, that a Montuckian hillbilly had to and junior college educated with a TBI and traumatic brain injury, right, partially deaf, right, had to show you and point out something that you couldn't find out. Just couldn't dawn upon you, right? That, anyways, you guys don't listen anyways. Let's see here. Are you right or left, Joe? ZY7CU. Well, that's a good question. I guess, in what context? In am I historically left, or because like historically I would say I'm left leaning, right? Whereas like I would consider myself a classical liberal of sorts, probably civic nationalist, but just a classical liberal, I would say. I'm not nearly as conservative as some people are. I don't know if that wasn't pretty obvious, but yeah, I believe in what's good for America. I believe in nationalism in the sense of like a strong like national identity, right? And those sort of things. But I wouldn't consider myself a hardline conservative. I mean, I'm very anti-abortion, but then again, I'm also very I'm very anti-abortion, but I'm also not immune to the fact that in certain situations it's probably for the best, right? And so I hate the idea of abortion, but I also understand that without it, it probably would be a net negative on society. I mean, it depends on which group, right? Like certain groups of people, I would prefer they not slaughter their children, right? But other groups of people that seem to treat children as more disposable, I would say, yeah, in that particular case, but it really depends, like I said, I tend to be from the standpoint of personal responsibility and freedom. I tend to always kind of favor freedom over anything else. So, I would definitely say that's probably the most conservative I am. But other than that, like, I don't think that, I'm just not pro degeneracy, right? I am hard right. I am Nick Fuentes right. I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with what 99% of what Nick says, so I don't think Nick Fuentes is really even a conservative. I just think that society has went so far left, right, that we basically have gotten to the point to where anybody with common sense is considered a right-winger, right? And Nick Fuentes makes too much sense, right, in a lot of cases, and so that makes him the ultimate right-leaning. But I don't think Nick Fuentes is really, that conservative. I think it's just that society in general, people in general, have gotten so left-leaning over the decades and over the millennium that it's all relative, right? Like, I think a lot of the what you would consider conservatives nowadays are really just classical liberals, right? Where, again, they don't want degeneracy, and they don't want third world cultures running rampant in their society, right? Well, of course not. That's cultural suicide. I mean, but that to me shouldn't even be a left or a right issue, right? That should just be a common sense. Like, if you don't agree with that, then you should be like kicked out of America, really, in my opinion, because you're incompatible with America. If you don't want what's best for America, well then, it's like, why are you here, right? And I think that there needs to be IQ test to vote. I think that, there needs to be maybe not an IQ test, but a common sense test, right? Like, can boys be girls? Can girls be boys, right? And if you answer yes to that, or you're not sure, well then you're automatically barred from voting, because you've proven like that you're like basically retarded, right? Like, why should, why do we want retarded people voting? And rule, and if there's more retards than smart people, well, then they overrule you, right? Which is kind of what we already have in America, already, or something that the liberal leftists have certainly pushed and tried to import third world immigrants, right? That they can try to mold and manipulate into, voting a certain way or thinking a certain way, and like I said, I don't think Nick Fuentes is really that conservative. I think he's just, he's kind of like me, where he's just willing to like just tell it like it is, right? Like, we don't want degeneracy here. We don't, obviously, like Nick Fuentes, like they call him racist and this and that. And I'm like, no, he's really not. Like, he's actually pretty, he's pretty tame and mild. And I think one of my biggest, I don't have a problem with Nick Fuentes, but I guess if I were going to, try to give him any constructive criticism, I would say that he's not hardline right. He's not hardline conservative enough, right? Because the shit that's conservative nowadays really isn't, But I guess for today's intents and purposes, I'm definitely considered a conservative, right-leaning. But historically, if we zoom out and look at the total history of the country, from the days of Andrew Jackson and Martin Van Buren, I'm very I'm not pro business, right? I'm not, or I guess I am pro business, pro free market, but I'm not like pro monopoly and just let like this quasi capitalist shit that they're pushing now, where people can fail but banks and big business can't fail. Like, I'm definitely not pro big business, if that makes sense. So no, I like Nick Fuentes. He's honestly one, probably, with the death of Charlie Kirk and with the I would say, yeah, he's probably the most prominent political figure in existence right now. He was probably already more prominent, well, certainly with Charlie Kirk's passing, or assassination rather. He's the most influential. Tucker Carlson, which I agree with a lot on. But yeah, Nick Fuentes, like I said, he's spot on 99% of the time, right? So probably higher than that, right? I would say no one's probably 100% on the money, because Jesus Christ is the only person who's perfect in the known universe. So, but I would say, yeah, definitely I don't know anyone who gets it right more than Nick Fuentes. So that's absolutely true. But yeah, I would say I'm probably the most liberal right winger you'll find, I guess, maybe. But maybe not. Maybe not. But I think historically, again, I'm very, I'm not as pro, I'm not as big of a capitalist as some other people, right? Like, I believe in, bits and pieces of socialism, sure, right? I mean, there's definitely traits in socialism that are, national, security and, having clean drinking water, for instance, right? Like, I mean, I guess that would make me kind of socialistic, right? So, no, I mean, I'm very, like I said, man, I just like freedom, man. I guess libertarian probably nowadays I'd be more considered, right? Constitutionalist, libertarian, civic nationalist, right? But I identify, I guess, as a classical liberal, right? I don't think I'm that conservative, right? But yeah, definitely have conservative viewpoints, I guess. What nowadays is considered conservative. Walter White be looking for you. Are you saying I look like Jesse Pinkman? Is that what you're saying? I'm like Jesse Pinkman. Bitch. Jesse Pinkman, bitch. It's one of my favorite words. I like to refer to people as bitch. Only in good faith, though. We're not talking about female dogs. I would never want to disrespect the female dogs like that. But yeah, definitely not scared to call a spade, right? Definitely not afraid to. Well, I don't want to say I'm not afraid, but I'm willing to do it anyways, right? I'm willing to face my fear, But yeah, it's definitely scary shit, man. It's just being locked in a cage for resisting the enforcement of a law that doesn't exist, right? And when I say resisting, I'm talking about like verbally protesting illegal behavior, right? Unconstitutional behavior, and then being charged with interference, right? So good luck with that, guys. Thoughts on my double chin? Let's see. CA Kid Talks. CA Kid Talks. Hold on, let me find this and then I'll answer your question. What's up? Wild day yesterday. Lucky laptop news. Well, tell us the gritty details. Thoughts, double thoughts on my double chin. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad. I ain't gonna dispute that. It's getting pretty bad. I'm getting a bum ass Fago, guys. Hold on, bum ass Fago. We love our bum ass Fago in Michigan. Let me get 25 on 7. Damn. I just dropped a quarter. Holy shit. Why would we want to do that? 27. You know, I went into a gas station. I don't know if it was, I think it was a Citgo. And I went to a Citgo. Yeah. Yeah, I went to a Citgo, man. They were selling pre-rolls on the counter. I said, holy shit. Like marijuana. Well, that's what I said. I said, holy shit. No, this was in Westland. Westland. I think what the fuck's that road? Corner of Inkster and Westland where it connects. There's a Citgo. Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe this shit, dude. I thought I was like, I had to double. I don't know, man. He was like, shit, we do this on the daily. I said, damn, dude, that's pretty bold, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. See you guys. Yeah. Shit, they playing that fucking good tunes today, baby. Oh! Ow! Oh, that sexy Toyota Camry. Isn't it sexy, guys? That red Toyota Camry. Cause I bought it just because I know it would piss off the UAW, you know, Joe Biden supporters, right? Because, you know, it's a red Toyota, right? It's not a blue Ford or a blue Chevy or a blue Dodge or whatever. It's a red Toyota. That's a foreign car, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Thoughts on blacks? Well, I don't know. Can you be more specific? What type, right? We talking like native born? We talking immigrants? We talking just overall? You know, what are we talking about here? What's up? I had a wild day yesterday. Lucky laptop news. Recorded the video. Cops started the BS. We made them put tape up. Lots of bootlickers and cops arrested one of us for crossing police tape, but he didn't cross the tape. Oh, sweet. So you guys got it all on video. That should be some easy money. No, it's never easy, guys. It's never fucking easy. Yeah, what'd they say? You're interfering, obstructing with the scene. That's their go-to, guys. Interference or obstruction. That's their fucking go-to. That's a quiz for any of you guys. We're gonna do a game show, right? What's the police's what's their go-to, right? What's their tactics, right? Basically, it'll be a game. I'm thinking about a game show, right? Where like we basically go around asking people, like, you know, what do the police say as soon as they start arresting somebody? What's their tactic? Stop resisting, right? It's like, you guys remember Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, the first one, when they get arrested and they're in jail with those fucking crazy ass, you know, fucking kangaroo cops, right? And then the black dude's in there with the book and shit, and he's reading his book, and then they come in, he has his hands on the wall, and they're screaming, stop resisting, as they're running in before he can even resist, right? Like, that's their tactic, right? To start escalating the situation, you know, start stomping on your feet, grabbing your wrist, twisting your wrist, and then start screaming, stop resisting, right? And then, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So bootlickers, not easy in Missouri. No, he got trespassing from a sidewalk. Oh wow. Well then that's that'll be a good one to litigate for sure. Yep. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, shit. You can be trespassed from a sidewalk. You could be fucking on your own property, and somehow you interfered with them, right? You interfered with the police on your property, and they don't have a warrant to be on your property, or consent, or an emergency, or even a law, right? I mean, that's where it's just like that's the royal flush of violations of searches and right. That's the royal flush of Fourth Amendment violations, right? And yeah, thank God, these people are just that incompetent. Thank the Lord, right? Thank God they're that evil and they're that incompetent, right? They're that retaliatory, that malicious, that vindictive. Thank God. But anywho, besides talking about the faggot ass city of Wayne tyrants, right? The tyrants, not the people or any of that. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Not going to lie, I lost my cool in the video. Yeah, you can't lose your cool. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't, right? But sometimes, you gotta, realize you're only human, guys. You're only human, man. We're only human. Yeah, I mean, we all gotta keep our cool at times. We don't want to cause, problems for ourselves. But at the end of the day, you got to give yourself a break, man. You're a human being, and when your rights are violated, yeah, you're justified being upset, right? Because you would think in this modern society, right, with all of the information that's readily available, that cops would be trained better, and they would be trained to serve you and to protect you, right? Which used to be their slogan, to serve and protect, right? Well, serve and protect me, but they don't do that, obviously. They probably never really did, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I would say the first time they violate your rights, you want to, be as cool as possible. You always want to be as cool as possible. But, when they violate your rights over and over again, I mean, obviously, you become more and more justified in your, anger, right? So, it's, I guess it just depends, man. Some things are so egregious that it really doesn't, it's the fact that they did it, right? It's the fact that they egregiously did something, woefully did something that, that's what catches up to them, right? In the end, right? And, yeah, I think juries and I think people are sympathetic to the fact that Americans, by and large, are just tired of having their rights violated, right? Collectively and individually, people are really getting sick and tired of the bullshit, right? Of the bullshit obstruction charges, the disorderly conduct charges, the disturbing the peace, the jaywalking, the bullshit like that, right? The loose, they gotta spin these charges, right? Remember May 9th, right? Well, the charge is loose, and how are we gonna spin it, right? That's what the Wayne PD are on body camera saying, right, amongst each other. Well, yeah, if you gotta spin something, well then obviously it's bullshit. So people are tired of it, and the only way we're going to get it to stop is to ram accountability down their throat, right? And force them to eat it, and force them to eat humble pie, and accept the fact that they did step out of line and violate your rights, and you have every justifiable reason to be upset. And everyone handles stress differently, right? And so I didn't grow up the way you grew up, and I haven't been through the experiences you've been through, and vice versa. And some people have been through such traumatic lives that it triggers people. And thank God mental health science has come a long way, and we're able to better articulate these sort of things. Because I mean, it has a tremendous impact, right? When you're the victim of police brutality or civil rights abuses, police misconduct, right, unlawful arrest, false imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, right? When you're the victim of these things, and then countless other examples, right? Vindictive, malicious, retaliatory prosecution, right? I mean, it has a tremendous impact on people, and it's certainly had its impact on me and my family. And I mean, I just, my heart goes out to all the victims of police brutality, because it's one of the most, in my opinion, it's the number one issue in our country socially, is policing. And I guess it's more than just policing. Policing is just kind of a highlight of a city's problems, right? But it's certainly not the only thing in the city of Wayne, and I'm sure thousands of other places around the country, hundreds at least. But hopefully I can be an example to the rest of the world, right? Hopefully, these cases and my story and my family's story and our origin, right? My wife comes from Espanola. She comes from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And, I guess what the city of Wayne forgot to consider is they raised them tough out in Espanola, right? And they raised them tough in Montucky, Michigan, Montcalm County. And, we're just not going to stand for it, right? My wife and I were not going to stand for it, and nobody in my household is going to stand for it, to be quite frank with you either. With you either, and none of our family is going to stand for it, and the people of this country aren't going to stand for it. And so that's just the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. And Lucky Laptop News. I didn't threaten nobody. I didn't swing, but my mouth went off. Well, you're allowed to let your mouth go off, dude. I mean, that's not a crime, dude. So that doesn't really jeopardize anything. Obviously, these moments get heated, and you're allowed to be a human, man. But I mean, you should try to be like Josh. Use more of a soothing voice, and study how Josh Abrams, how he does it, because he's very good at remaining calm under these stressful situations. But you'll get better at it, right? You'll get better at it. And filming the police is the number one way that a citizen, a resident, a good citizen, a private citizen, a taxpayer, that's the number one way that they can hold their city, state, government accountable, is record them, preferably with two phones. One phone that's doing YouTube live, and then another phone recording just as a backup, right? That also gets uploaded immediately after the completion of the video. And so that way, you have two different platforms, right? And two different recordings, right? And preferably somebody else recording too. I'm not like Josh. I have a mouth and get tired of tiring some bootlickers in my face. Yeah, dude, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. I understand. I'm shit, dude. I went off worse than Donkey Kong did, but the Hulk, right? But I've been doing this for 5 years. Yeah, man. It sounds like you got a little built-up trauma, man. It sounds like you've been through a lot with it, and I can only imagine what you've seen. And just try to relax, though, man. You're doing good work for people, and I guess what I'm trying to learn, and maybe this will help you, but you got to try to not take it as personal, right? I mean, obviously it is personal. You're the one that's having their rights violated, but try to look at it like there's a greater good to it, right? Like God put you in the position to help the world out, and that's how you help the world out, by exposing, right? But you have to be you know, just try to be calm, man. Try to be calm, man. And not to say you can't be loud or or boisterous, right? But um, just remember that if you're if the delivery isn't right, then the content's not gonna the way it gets the delivery. If the delivery's not right, then the message is gonna get lost in translation. And you got to understand that the most important thing is the message, right? The most important thing is the message, and you're just the messenger. And wait, can you repeat that? I got lost. Repeat what? What do you want me to repeat? You think I remember shit, right? You think I have a good short-term memory? Not really, but I'll be right back, guys. One more time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're all still here. Lucky Laptop News, I subscribed to your channel. That's good news, Joe Cotton. Joe Cotton, that's a badass name, I ain't gonna lie. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, guys. Pretty sweet. But yeah, anyways. Anyways. Anyways, how's it hanging, everybody? How is it hanging? A little to the left, a little to the right, dead center. How is it hanging? Is it hanging like Nick Langan? You guys don't know Nick Langan. So, I guess I'll tell you a little story. No, I shouldn't say it about old Nick Langan. Well, yeah, Nick Langan, he was a short man, short in stature, and funny story about that. I don't know, if I get drunk enough, I might one day. I've never been drunk enough, but if I do get drunk enough, then I will gladly probably tell you the story about Nick Langan. But how's it hanging, Nick Langan? How's it hanging? How is it hanging? For me, it's like it's hanging a little to the left, a little bit of left to center, but it's all good. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know that I know. That I know you're a homo. Homo. Yeah. Too many homos, man. Way too many homos out there. You know, that don't know. They don't know their dick from their ass, man. They don't know their lips from their vagina lips. They don't know anything, right? Lots of cucks and homos out there, man. Beta male faggots, right? Lots of bottom G's, if you catch my drift, right? Like, and then we found out top G ain't really much, he's top G, all right. Because basically, he gave Chase Demore some top, sadly. So I witnessed, basically my hero get beat up and give, some dude named Chase Demore basically gave him top. Got knocked down on his knees and had to give him some top. So that was kind of fucked up, not gonna lie. It kind of traumatized me. Shout out to Andrew Tate, the legend, the one and only. But yeah, he was top G that night for sure. Sadly, he was the top G. But Jake Paul did get his glass jaw broke, so that was a plus. Of course, we never want to see a black man beating up a white man, but sometimes sometimes you lose fair and square, right? But yeah, Jake Paul, he got that shit rocked. He got that shit docked, right? So maybe next time, maybe Logan Paul can avenge his brother's beatdown. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm enjoying my day off and listening to the scanner, waiting for if anything happens, I'll be rolling to record. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I gotta. What type of scanner would you recommend? Lucky Laptop News. I would like to know what are your personal opinions? What are your recommendations? Please do share. Here's a comment. What the fuck does this shit say? AEIOUALDE. Best part of county jail be the fine dime pieces in lockup with me. Okay, are you saying that you pretend to be trans or something? Or are you a man trying to present as a female so you can get in with the dime pieces? Is that the strategy? Uniden Home Patrol 2. Well, let's take a screenshot of that for future reference. The Uniden Home Patrol 2. Yeah, well, we definitely need to go auditing, right? Audit early and often. Yeah, I got to take the iPhone with me because the service that I have on the on this Android that I have, sometimes, like I said, I think that's why we don't get the audio. I'm a man. The dime pieces in county jail are the other inmates. Oh, so you're a gay man. Okay. So dime pieces in the county jail are the other inmates. Well, all the other inmates are mostly black men. So are you into black men? Is that what I'm reading correctly? Are you into joggers? Are you jogging with the joggers? Scanner apps don't work in my small town. Yeah, I mean there's like a couple, but yeah, they're kind of BOGO. So yeah, I definitely want the real thing. They're about $600. Yeah, I mean that's anything in life that's good quality. But Yeah, we'll try to find maybe a nice used one or something. He said, I am a black man. I pitch, I don't catch. Okay, so you're doing the excavating is what I'm understanding, right? You're doing the excavating, and you like the dime pieces in the jail. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good for you, man. I mean, stay within your own race, right? That's you know, um, that's good, right? I mean, to the Nick Fuentes crowd out there, right? He's staying within his race. That's good. It's got some tribalism going on there. I mean, hey, dude, other gay black men need love too, I guess, right? So kudos to you, my friend. Go get them, Tiger. Man, I gotta get some pizza, man. I had some Hungry Howie's last night. Good as fuck. But really, that stuffed crust from Little Caesars, that shit is bomb diggity bomb. Yeah, it's bomb diggity. That stuffed crust, that crazy bread stuffed crust. Yeah, what do I think about my double chin action, though? I think my double chin is unacceptable. It is unacceptable, and something has to be done about it. Because if the beard can't even cover it up, well, then it's just out of hand, right? So, yeah, we're gonna work on the double chin action. We have no choice, right? We have no fucking choice. So. I catch petty misdemeanors just to get locked up. There you go. There you go, buddy. I mean, hey, I'm sure there's probably an easier way. You could probably get on like Backpage or whatever it is now. They still have Craigslist, right? They got Tinder, they got Grindr, they got all that good shit. So works faster than Tinder. I mean, I don't know. I thought they had like guards in jail, right? Don't they have guards in jails? All jails? You're digging them out in jail, huh? Well, what you're saying you're digging them out in lockup, right? So like in the holding cell? You're digging them out in the holding cell, huh? I mean, that's pretty impressive, dude. They probably know you though, right? They probably know you by first name, so they probably just look the other way by now. They're that used to it, or only go for Spanish or European. Well, that's gonna be slim pickings, bro. Not a lot of those places, especially not no dime pieces, right? You might get some old fat white guy, right, on dialysis, or you'll get like some short Mexican dude who's got bigger titties than my wife. But I don't know, do whatever floats your boat, buddy. Like I said, dude, I mean, I'd prefer if you repent to God, right? Prefer if you just repent to God and start clapping some female cheeks, right? But hey, dude, to each our own, buddy. To each our own. Welcome to the channel. Just don't be trying to clap any cheeks around here, and everything will be a-okay, buddy. Everything will be a-okay. More woman left over for me. Well, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate the consideration. I really do appreciate that a lot, dude. That means a lot to me, bro. For you to come on this page, right? Not actually coming on this page, right? But to appear on this page, right? And to be so thoughtful and generous. It's truly heartwarming. So thank you again for that. I don't want to mispronounce that name because that is a hell of a name. And yeah, more woman left over for me. Like I said, I'm married happily, but if my wife does give me a free pass or whatever, I'll definitely keep that in mind. You know, that's why I said I'm not against. I'm not totally against as far as like I don't believe like, gay people should deserve to die or anything or burn in hell or anything crazy shit like that. But I'm also not God, so I can't make that decision. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want it around me. I'll be honest with you. It's a little bit like the flamboyant gay shit, right? Like it's one thing, right? Like, cause I do know some gays, right, that are very conservative by today's standards, and they're not degenerates, right? I guess I don't like the degenerate gay shit, right? Which, that's why does being gay have to be lumped in with being trans, right? Being trans is definitely a mental problem. Although I am trans, though, because I was born a hermaphrodite, as many of you may or may not know. And, basically, I had a well developed penis and also a vagina. So, they decided to go with the well developed penis. The penis was more developed than the vagina, I guess you could say. And so here I am, right? Here I am. I would never disrespect a regular man regardless of height or weight. I mean, look, like, you know, okay, to each their own, I guess. I mean, there's such thing as being like a fat slob, right? There's a difference between being out of shape, having a dad bod, right? Just kind of being a fat fuck, skinny fat, all that. But then there's just being a sloppy fuck, right? Sloppy fat fuck, a slob, a glutton, and I think that should be shamed or disrespected, so to speak. Wayne or Wanda Mays 8351. Wayne GTSY. I'm not sure what GTSY means. Only feminine ones. I wouldn't approach a regular dude. Yeah, but how do you know sometimes, right? The line's becoming more and more blurred. A lot of zesty straight guys, right? So-called straight guys that I think have a little bit of queer in them, right? A little bit of zest to them, right? A little bit of sass. And I don't know, man. I mean, it's one of those things where I really just don't really want it around me. Like, if that's like basically your whole point for like existing around me is just to like kind of let me know you're gay or something sexual, right? Well, then I find that kind of weird and creepy, right? Like, I don't mind talking about like clapping female cheeks with the boys, right? But anyone wants to talk about, well, then that's kind of strange, and I think you should probably get some counter if that's what you're doing, right? I just don't like people that make it their entire identity, right? Like, it's I guess it's shouldn't be a death sentence to be gay, obviously, but I don't think it should be something that should be promoted or celebrated, right? I don't think you should be celebrated for sucking a penis or something, but it's a choice that somebody makes, and we live in America, and people have rights to make choices that you don't agree with, right? I don't think the government should be legitimizing it, right? Like, I'll say this, like, I don't think they should be like able to legally marry, right? And it get treated with the same validity as a regular union, right? A nuclear family. I don't think you should let two gay guys. I'm less worried about the gay men, and I'm more worried about the lesbians, right? Like, I don't think two lesbians should be able to raise a child. Just like I really don't think two gay men should be raising a child, right? I think it's psychologically damaging to the child. And children should be raised in a, preferably a two-parent household, of the opposite genders. Because the society's already got enough fucked up problems, right? And we don't need to contribute we don't need to set children up for failure. What's up, Wanda? Did you see the video we did yesterday? The ones that call themselves trans and look accordingly. I don't know. I mean, right? Like, it's hard to tell. Surgeries get pretty good. Especially if they're Asian, right? Them lady boys. That shit's awfully. That shit's awfully convincing sometimes, right? Like, you could be fooled by a lady boy and be like, damn, right? Like, sometimes what's funny is, right, like, men can act like women better. Men can be women better than women can be women, right? That's what's fucked up about it, right? In some cases. But yeah, women for the most part, they belong in the kitchen, and they should be having babies, lots of healthy babies, and then they should be raising those children, instilling in them American Judeo-Christian values, right? I respect your approach. Your honesty is appreciated and encouraged. Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, dude, I think that, I'm not gonna say like being gay automatically makes you a degenerate, but a lot of degenerates are gay, right? A lot of gays give other gays a bad name and bad reputation because they act so flamboyantly degenerate about it, right? And they try to, like, throw a dildo in your face and, wave it around at you. And it's just like, there's a way to go about things, right? And it used to just be don't ask, don't tell, right? Which I thought was reasonable. And then it became, no, it's got to be LGBT. It's got to be LGB, and then they added the T, right? Then it just got completely fucking bananas. And so nowadays, I mean, it was taken too far, right? Like, being gay in itself is not necessarily like I don't think it's a good thing for society, right? But it's like natural, right? Like, it's like in any animal species, right? There's going to be some gay animals. There's going to be animals that have mutations, and maybe they're just wired differently. And if it's natural and it's like, not artificially imposed upon society, then yeah, I'm okay with it. As far as, like, okay in the sense, like, if you're like a normal decent person and, like, you're not a degenerate, like, I really wouldn't even know that you're gay then, right? And so, I'm not like fucking some of these other conservatives that are just like, nope, being gay is like you should go die or something. Like, that's fucking crazy. So that's anti-American, right? Because America is founded upon, freedom, right? So I don't know. Hopefully that answers the question, right, a little bit. But I'm a furry. I dress like a turtle so Mario can jump on me. Lucky Lab Top News. That's quite the confession. He says I'm not really. Damn, dude, that's disappointing, man. I thought you were about that real life, Thought you were a real Mario fan, brother. Hungry Howies. It's okay. Might be flagging them. Let me check and see something. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely flagging them. AIDS is a death sentence. I respect that mindset. Yeah. I mean, being born is a death sentence, right? But yeah, AIDS definitely not something we want to be promoting, right? I want to be a straight man for my family, but these trans ladies are addictive. I mean, hey, dude, I'll take your word for it, right? All the more reason to stay away. But when my ex-wife and I got married, we had drag queen marry us, and her maid of honor was a drag queen. Damn, that's quite a confession, dude. Damn. I just came to troll. I'm not gay. What the fuck, degeneracy? Um, I mean, I figured, right? But the fact that you would even come up with that is a little sus, right? Just a little bit sus, bro. I mean, I know you're saying you're not gay, but you're kind of. Well, that was your first problem. Lucky laptop news. It was your ex was bisexual. That was your first mistake. That was your first mistake, bro. I don't like bi women. Red flag. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a red flag. I mean, like I said, maybe for a night, maybe you dig it out, you know, once in a while, right? But long term relationship, LTR, marriage, definitely not. Let's see here. Maven Huffman Real. Nice forehead. I think I can land a jet on that thing, man. Well, thank you, sir. You should have seen it before the hair transplant. I mean, it was fucked. It was fucked, bro. Dude, this ain't shit, bro, to what it used to be. Oh, dude. Yeah, I just have big ass forehead, dude. I just got big ass head, period. Uh, like, I always wore the biggest helmet, damn near the biggest helmet on the team, right? Like I'm like a defensive back, running back. I played nose tackle a little bit, but I was really undersized. I'm only 5'7". But yeah, I always wore like an XL football helmet. Good times. But yeah, it's a nice fucking forehead. I appreciate that, dude. Like I said, it ain't got a zit on it though. That's a plus, right? It ain't got no fucking big ass zit on it, so ain't got no hair on it either, right? So she was also 16 years older than I was. Yeah, that's your second mistake, bro. Bisexual and 16 years older. Well, fuck. How old are you, dude? How old are you? 16 years older. What were you dating? A fucking gilf? A grandmother? How old? A senior citizen? What the fuck were you dating, dude? It's huge, bro. You also eat like a toddler. Yeah, probably. Fucking hungry, bro. What can I say? Your forehead ain't that huge. She was 29. She was 29. I was 23. Yeah, that's I don't know. I eat like a toddler. I don't know. How does a toddler fucking eat though? I don't know. I guess I've never really noticed it. Your her forehead ain't that huge. No, it's pretty fucking big, bro. It's. I wouldn't say it's huge, but it's definitely right below that. I mean, it was huge before the hair transplant, and I might have them come down just a little bit more. But yeah, I've just always had a big ass head. You know, big ass head. She was 39. I was 23. Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy, bro. I hope you learned your lesson, Lucky Laptop News. I really do. Hope you learned your lesson, bro. Damn, bro, you and them gilfs, bro. What's up with you and them gilfs, bro? Why can't you go get a 21-year-old, bro? Like what? Like 25, bro. You know, go to the Philippines, bro. Go to the fucking Philippines, bro. Go to Colombia. Go to the Dominican Republic, bro. You know, I'll take you there, bro. We'll go have some fun. Tell the girlfriend, say, look, right? This is what you tell the girl. You say, look, baby, I love you. Don't get me wrong. You say, this is what you say. You say, bitch, I love you, right? Just like Tourette's guy, right? Where he says, bitch, I love you, right? Well, that's what you say to her. You say, bitch, I love you. And you say, but, and this is a big but, I'm going with my bro to, Colombia, maybe Venezuela now. Look, bro, Venezuela's got a lot of talent out there. Um, Colombia, it'd blow your mind, dude, honestly. I don't know. Like I said, I don't, obviously, I don't know your significant other, but, or your girlfriend, but I mean, you're 40 and she's 53. It's like, I mean, we're going in the wrong direction here. I guess it's a little bit better. I mean, the age difference is what? Okay, you went from 16 years older to 13 years older, but I mean, it's still negligible, bro. I mean, we got to start moving in the right direction, bro. I mean, time's running out. You're 40. Let's do the passport, bro, lifestyle for a little bit. Maybe a rotation, right? Maybe you keep the 53-year-old in your rotation just to kind of keep your skills up, right? But yeah, I mean, 53, bro, unless she's just got a bunch of money, or she's just that hot, which both I highly doubt. You should really only be getting sucked off by this woman, bro. That's it, bro. I mean, you shouldn't even be pumping it, bro. Um, yeah, that's just. I guess at the end of the day, right? It's whatever you're comfortable with, right? And but yeah, I couldn't do that big of a, you know. Well, I mean well, it sounds like you're banging whores, man. Why can't you why can't you go to Colombia or Paraguay or Argentina or something, bro, and then just get a church woman or church girl, man, someone who's like 18, 21, virgin, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke cigarettes, never seen a penis before in their life. Like, I mean, like, what are we doing here, bro? I mean, yeah, of course, if you're dating young sluts, bro, I mean, and from America especially, yeah, he's 40, but dude, 40 like as a passport, bro, 25, 28 max, bro. Like, I mean, bro, you're I'm assuming you're American, right? I mean, I just don't understand the logic. Well, I mean, you shouldn't go for probably shouldn't if it's American, bro, 18-year-old, that's horrible idea. That's what the ones that are younger now are getting dug out the most, in America. So No, dude, you want to go to, like, go to conservative part of the world, man. Go to Paraguay, bro, and go to a village or something, bro. Go to Colombia, go to the village, man. Go to Bolivia, fucking. What, I guess it depends on what type of woman you like, right? If you like a woman that's, Asian or Oriental, or you like Afro Colombian, you like black chicks, you like white chicks, you like, Latinas. I mean, what do you like? But if you're not, it doesn't sound like you're very picky, bro. If you're not that picky, bro, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be a home wrecker, but have a little confidence, bro. Have a little, I'm not into church. I respect people that are, but I'm Gothic from the Ozarks and I worship the goddess. That's fine, bro. I mean, why do you think that, why does it got to be, one or the other, bro? I mean, you don't think that there's some hot young piping pussy out there that's got your name on it that just is dying to meet you somewhere in the world? Right? And she doesn't care about age. She's not, totally religious, but you want a woman who's been raised, right? When I say raised religiously, you want a woman who's got a father, for one, right? A strong relationship with their father. That's, you know, that's empirical, right? You want to have, strong relationship with the father, preferably, greatly preferably. Father involvement actively in their lives. And, you know, I don't know, man. You're 40, bro. You're not fucking 80, bro. You could be digging out some 22-year-old pussy. Because, like I said, bro, don't sit here and lie to me and say, 53 is better than 23. I mean, don't be smoking crack up in this fucking YouTube channel, right, bro? We don't smoke crack here, bro. I understand, bro, but unless you look like fucking, Sasquatch or something, bro. Unless you look like Sasquatch or Freddy Krueger, bro. I mean, you know, let's be real here, guys. We're here to tell the truth. We're not here to bullshit and dance around the bush. And preferably, we don't want any bushes at all because that's just fucking gross. So we want clean shaven. We want tight. We want perky. We want fertile, right? We want fertile. We want all that good stuff, bro. Innocent, right? A woman that's innocent, that doesn't have experience, that hasn't been used up and passed around hard, right? Yeah, bro. I mean, like, let's be real here, right? I mean, shit, dude. My wife's got a couple sisters, bro. I mean, I can introduce you, man. I mean, virgins too, bro. I mean, they do exist out there, right? And just because they have a different religion than you do, maybe they're Catholic or Protestant. Well, it doesn't mean that it can't be a happy relationship, right? I mean, let's just be for real here, bro, for a minute. It's a big world out there. That's all I'm saying. Big world out there. So it's hard to find ladies that are like me, and I'm happy with the lady I have. She treats me well. We own our own place together. She don't get mad because I like to work. She's not mad. Yeah, but I mean, bro, she doesn't have the energy, bro. I mean, she doesn't get mad. Well, yeah, she's 53, bro. She's looking to coast until she dies, bro. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I mean, so it's hard to find ladies that like me. Yeah, in America, right? I mean, if you're in America, right? Fuck, dude. I mean, that's your problem, bro. You're looking in the wrong places. And I'm happy with the lady I have. Hey, if you're happy, bro, truly happy, I just don't think you really I don't think you've really seen the world a little bit. I don't think you'd be so happy. You're happy with the lady I have. She treats me well. We own our own place together. Yeah, but that's risky business, man. You're cohabitating with a woman who, I mean, it sounds like you guys own the place together, so you're going to halvesy. So if there's some breakup in the relationship, then you might get fucked, bro. I mean, that's just saying, bro. Don't sound like the best plan. She don't get mad because I like to work. Well, you shouldn't want to work, bro. If the girl's hot, bro, you should be wanting to fuck on her a little bit, right? Maybe skipping work to fuck her, right? I mean, but no, I mean, if you're with a girl who's not, right, like, I don't know, if you're with a girl who's, decent and I mean, I don't know. I just don't think they're mutually exclusive. I mean, I think you can have your cake and eat it too in this situation, right? Speaking of cake, we are gonna have some cake. Hello. Okay, Craig Sala 5235, CraigSaleh 5235. Hello. Hello, Craig. If you could introduce a law effective immediately, what would it be? Oh, that's easy. That's very simple, right? So qualified immunity goes away. Um, if a police officer or a judge or a prosecutor, like first thing I would do is get rid of judicial, immunity, right? Prosecutorial immunity, where basically as it sets now, judges and prosecutors can basically commit as many violations as they want and they get immunity to some extent, right? I mean, obviously it's more complicated than that, but the fact that we don't have a system in place to effectively deal with rogue judges and prosecutors, right? That I mean, that's the most obvious problem, federally or by state. Um, I'd start locally. Really, I think ordinances by and large should be ruled void for vagueness. I think that ordinances by and large shouldn't even exist, because they're completely repugnant to the Constitution of the U.S. and the state in which it's in. I don't think there really should be any local laws, right? Ordinances really should be few and far between, right? If for some reason there was an issue that the court or the state or the federal government didn't the state or federal government didn't properly address, right, some sort of issue or law, then that should be a maybe a situation where ordinance steps in. But ordinances by and large, they violate the supremacy clause because they in some ways, in some cases, they just completely contradict the Constitution, either the state or the federal government. But the other thing is just void for vagueness. Too many of them are just void for vagueness, right? Where they don't properly inform ordinary people of ordinary intelligence what conduct is allowed and what conduct is not allowed. So you get in these guessing games, right, where basically you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you choose not to engage, well, then you don't have a right to exercise your rights. So that's effectively a taking of your rights. But then if you engage in the conduct that is, it's illegal, but it's not. Like the city of Wayne open burn policy and their recent ordinance 2025-02. Those really exemplify void for vagueness, and that's the problem, right? Is you can turn an issue, right, that's completely civil into a criminal issue, right? And no, I just think that too many of these laws don't allow for appropriate due process, right? Either there is no law at all, or the law is written so vaguely and ambiguously that it, can be used ambiguously and be weaponized and be enforced ambiguously and capriciously. And no, that's the problem. So I would make ordinances, they'd have to 100%, as they're written, they have to follow the Constitution and the applicable case law, right? So if there's something that's been ruled time and time and time again on, in a particular direction, well, then that becomes the precedent, right? So then the laws have to mirror that precedent. That would be my first, thing if I could introduce a law, because really the issues start at a local level, really, and then I would go with the states, right? Because I am a big component of state rights. So I do think there's advantages to both, nationalizing things and federalizing things and making things uniform. In some cases, like when it comes to the Second Amendment, that should be a no-brainer, right? Anything to do with your constitutional rights should be federalized immediately. But I still think states deserve to have their their discretion to an extent, right? But it should be at the state level, definitely not the local or county or city level, right? Village level, township level. No, that all that shit should be, completely done away with. Um, Lucky laptop news. I lived a fun life, done lots of types of jobs, and I'm about to start backyard wrestling, and she's not talking me out of it like others have. She lets me be me. I mean, listen, bro, if you're happy, bro, and you go to sleep with a stiffy, bro, and you wake up getting your Jimmy wrestled on, then hey, bro, more power to you, bro. But like I said, bro, just if you ever get tired of looking at the saggies, bro, um, hit me up, bro. I'd love to take you out passport broing for a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even a few days, bro, just a weekend. Take you out passport broing. Show you some of the other side of the world. Right, right in your hemisphere though, you don't got to travel to the Philippines, but um, he's a lawyer. Kevin Lee 6387 or 1637. Who's a lawyer? Um, Question. Craig Sulla 5235. Why are American politics so bipartisan? Um, because there's only two choices. Um, the problem with American politics again is the fact that we don't have any ranked choice voting, and so it's winner take all, and that's the reason why it's so bipartisan, because you only really truly have two options, right? In most cases, I mean, you have an independent option, you have a third option technically. You got the Green Party, Libertarian Party, but on a national level, the issue is mainly the fact that there's only two viable parties. And, it's really just a uniparty, to be fair in a lot of ways. But bipartisan, I mean, it's just the way it is now. I mean, why is the quality of public services such dog shit in a lot of places? Well, it's just because, people, I think some of it's the internet. I think some of it's, the fact that we've become such a privileged society by and large that we've kind of lost base with our roots, right? Like, because back in the day, right, like they used to have duels, and if you disrespected somebody's family or something, right, like, or you lock somebody in a cage for a law that doesn't exist, right, basically essentially accuse somebody of witchcraft, people would you know get punched in the mouth for shit like that, right? And I'm not advocating for that, but I also recognize that had um, a role to play in how our laws were shaped, right? And our laws were shaped in a way where there was always kind of that fear, right? Like if you really stabbed somebody in the back and went overboard, right, and cut too deep, so to speak, like you know, people didn't put up with that shit as much. Like people just in general were a lot more in tune with their caveman nature, so to speak, right? So, I feel like the lack of decorum and the bipartisanship is because, or why is, your question is, why are American politics so bipartisan? Um, I don't really think they're bipartisan in the sense that, like, I think both parties, how do I say this without sounding like a fucking idiot? I think both parties, by and large, are more or less a uniparty. I think when you get down to the nitty gritty, there's really only one choice, right? It's, there's an illusion of two choices, right? And, obviously there's difference between Republicans, Democrats, don't get me wrong. But effectively they serve the same masters, right? They still serve the small hats. And so I think that's the problem. I think that's one of the big problems is the small hats meddling in U.S. politics. So that combined with the internet, right, and just combined with the lack of we live in this very kind of soft world now, right? Where people don't grow up getting punched in the mouth for being cucks, for, just being fucking, pieces of shit, right? Like, people get away with a lot more nowadays, especially the government. And so, yeah, I think it's just something you see in general, right? I think people are just less, um, they're less willing to hear the other side because, especially Democrats, right? Like the modern day Democrats, the socialists, they don't have any facts, right? And so, Democrats, very few facts. It's all emotion. Everything's emotionally driven now. It's all emotional garble. And, that's why I'm in the position I am, is because I, had a platform and I spoke out against people I didn't like and people in government that I didn't like. And then, lo and behold, right, they made me into a criminal, right? I was in my backyard minding my own business, and then I just was suddenly a criminal because, I was on my property having a bonfire or cooking fire, and, somebody complained about it. And so instead of the city of Wayne protecting my rights, they decided to turn what would be a civil issue into a criminal issue. And yeah, you guys know the story, but I like to make sure I reiterate it for people that are tuning in. Welcome to the channel. He's a lawyer. Who's a lawyer? Am I a lawyer? I am not a lawyer. I took 2 paralegal classes at Georgia Military College. I have a plethora of life experience, job experience. I have a master's in industrial organizational psychology. So, I don't know, just a normal person who's willing to stick their ass out there, but, not for queerish reasons, right? But for patriotic reasons, right? For reasons that, impact so many, right? Because these type of cases can impact millions. And so, it's just the right thing to do. Just the right thing to do. Corporate encroachment on civil liberties. Why care about Americans when Israel needs genocide money? Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? I mean, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, the civil liberties, and America certainly has taken a back seat to Israel. That's for sure. And yeah, I'm just glad, right? I'm just glad that, everyone's talking about it now, right? Like it's no longer a secret. Everyone, I mean, it never really was a secret, but now it's kind of a mainstream talking point, and it's good. It's good because, yeah, I mean, it's so abundantly obvious what's going on and what has gone on that I'm glad people are starting to wake up, and I'm glad Candace Owens is leading the charge and, asking the right questions, right? Because that's really what it's about, is asking the right questions and being persistently asking the right questions, and, not being afraid and not backing down and not, being intimidated or, not being rattled, right, by tyrants and evildoers. And it's not for the faint of heart, but you do get used to it. In some ways you do get used to the struggle and to the anxiety, and it's something that you just learn to deal with, I guess. But corporate encroachment on civil liberties, yeah, it's a great way to put it, Craig. Yeah, that's the problem, Michael Butler. You summed it up in a nutshell. Michael Butler, 2180. Doesn't matter which side you vote for, the elites win. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the case. Obviously, the elites were upset when Trump initially won. Of course, they were less upset when he won in 2024. But yeah, Trump's been compromised as well. He's on the list, just like they're all on the list. And yeah, the elites, that's kind of how the system's set up, right? The elites, anywhere you go, I don't, we could be talking federally, we could be talking statewide, or we could be talking locally, right? The elites seem to always win in these elections, right? Because, like, let's say by the stroke of luck that someone who doesn't favor the elites gets into office, well, then they're usually, they're set up, they're framed, they're sued into oblivion, right? So usually, that's kind of what tends to happen, right? Or they're just assassinated, right? They're just killed. So it's pretty rare for the elites to even allow someone who's not one of their puppets to win. But if someone who's resisting the puppet master does happen to win, then there's plenty of tactics for the elites to employ, right? So yeah, that's that's the problem, and the whole system's been hijacked by fucking globalists, right? And authoritarians and cucks and whatever term you want to use, but elites, yeah, so-called elites, I guess. Doesn't matter which side you vote for, the elites win. Yes, yes. Cone on the bricks 6746. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Shake some ass. Can't do it. Too tired, bro. I can't see all the comments, Craig. Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to hit up YouTube about that. YouTube, right? You gotta hit up YouTube customer service and see what's going on with it. As a minister, I no longer vote. I served in the Army for 8 years. I was all about it. Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, voting is pointless. But, on a local level, I think it's the most important. I think, it is something that is necessary. I think it's, at the end of the day, I think it's important to vote for the lesser of two evils. And, yeah, it does seem kind of futile, though. I mean, I understand your sentiment, Michael. And I can understand why people don't. And I don't hold it against them, but yeah, it is rigged. Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. Sorry, I'm back dealing with troll on my channel. Oh, no worries, Lucky Laptop, dude. We're just chilling, bro. We are just chilling. What are the chances of globalist Zionist-led government, Craig? Well, isn't that what we already have? I mean, is Trump not bought and paid for by Israel? Is like half of Congress and the House not bought and paid for by Israel? I mean, that's basically, yeah, it sounds like that's what we already have, dude. Global Zionist-led government. Zionist global, I mean, yeah, we're basically already there, right? Because if Israel controls the United States, well, then the United States controls the world. So by extension, Israel controls the world. Stink me up. It's rigged. Yeah, I mean, a lot of elections are, but as the famous Charlie Kirk once said, you got to make it too big to rig, right? I mean, if there's a halfway decent candidate, then you need to get behind them, and you need to make it too big to rig. And that's the only remedy to the rigging is you have to win by so much of a margin that they can't rig it. Michael Butler 20. Thank you for your service. Yeah, thank you, Michael. People need to revolt and stop being so passive. Yeah, I mean, but who's the one who's going to fall on the sword first, right? That's always the question, right? I mean, well, yeah, people need to revolt and stop being so passive, but, the government is armed to the gills, and they outgun you, and they can outmaneuver you. And then, of course, they have the legal system on their side. They have the courts on their side. So, yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with that sentiment, but, sometimes people fall on the sword and other people pussy out, right? Like, people see someone falling on the sword, and then depending on how badly they got cut up, they might think twice, right? And of course, no, it's easy, for people that, have the means to fight, right? But a lot of people just don't have the means to do it, man. and they're passive because they don't want to lose their job, they don't want to lose their livelihood, they don't want to lose their house, they don't want to lose their car. I mean, they don't want to be starving and homeless, right? Like the city of Wayne just made being homeless illegal, right? I mean, you can't sleep in your car. You can't do a lot of shit, right? So basically, being homeless in Wayne is effectively illegal, and so it's hard out there, man. It's like, yeah, well, you can set up there on your high altar and say, well, people need to revolt, but lead the way, right, Craig? I mean, lead the way, dude. And obviously, I don't say that literally. I don't want you to do anything. Don't commit violence against anybody, but I get what you're saying, Craig. I really do, man, and I do agree. However, it's got to be a collective effort. It can't just be one or two or some isolated people. It's got to be a well-coordinated effort, right? Otherwise, it's just going to end in disaster. Michael Butler 2180 or Lucky Laptop News. My brother was a USMC, U.S. Marine Corps for 8 years. When did he serve? He went in 2007, I think. I served from August 1982 to September 1990. Michael Butler. Well, thank you for that service, kind sir. We really appreciate that around here. We do appreciate our nation's heroes, real heroes, not wannabe heroes like the Wayne Police Department and the local surrounding municipalities, but real heroes, right? America's heroes, and we salute you for that service. But I do have to get on another task right now, guys. So I will let you go, but I do appreciate you again for tuning in to the live stream, of course. This is Wayne County Audit. I am your host, Vince McFarland, a.k.a. Versace Vince, a.k.a. Mr. Fuck Your Bitch. No, I'm just kidding. That's not who I am. I just made that up. But please smash that like button like Israel smashes Donald Trump's cheeks and get whatever they want. So please, let's get at least 10 likes in here. We're up at 8. A couple more likes. And that would be it'd be much appreciated, my fellow people. Or not. I guess we'll have to settle for 8 likes tonight. 8 thumbs up. We do appreciate those 8 thumbs up. Those 8 courageous individuals who were able to give the thumbs up there. We appreciate your efforts. Oh, now we're at 9 thumbs up. There we go. We are now at 9 thumbs up. Just one more thumbs up. Let's get over to 10. The police fake ranks. Yeah. The police fake ranks. Oh, like how they copy the military and, sergeant, lieutenant, all that. Yeah. That's my response. That's my response. Whenever I see the police, this is my response. When I give them the retarded fucking, that's what they get. That's what they get. Cop block. Cop block. Lawyer shield. I don't know. What is it called? Lawyer shield? But, yeah, I guess we're only going to get to number 9. 9 thumbs up. We do, damn, now they just took the thumbs up away. You dirty dog, you. We had 9 thumbs up. Now we only have 8. We only have 8 now. Cock teasing. Now we got 9 again. Look at that. Cock teasing. I like it. I like it. Just don't tease me too much. Don't threaten me with too good of a time. I'm a kinky motherfucker, dude. I'm a kinky motherfucker, bro. I'll get my licks in, if you know what I'm saying. I'll get my licks in. I will get my licks in, guys. Damn, it smells like bacon in here. Who's cooking the bacon? I need some fucking bacon. No, I'm gonna eat this cake though, guys. I got other business I gotta attend to, but if you guys want to watch me eat cake, I'll with you. We'll eat some fucking Dairy Queen Oreo Blizzard cake here, guys. This is some straight fucking diabetes, right? Straight diabetes. Diabetes like a motherfucker. Oreo Blizzard cake. Who the hell doesn't like Oreo Blizzard cake, right? Fuck it, we're gonna have pizza flavored Oreo Blizzard cake. We ain't even gonna clean the plate. Damn, he's got reflexes. I thought I was gonna get you, bro.
Yeah, you can.
Look at this big ass knife.
I'm used to being.
Holy shit. Holy moly, look at my knife. Look at my motherfucking knife. A little piece of cake in here today. Oh yes. Look at that, people. Look at that shit. Tell me that ain't fucking delicious. But ain't that right, City of Wayne? We let him eat cake. We let him eat cake in Wayne. Of course we do. Well, we're going to let him eat cake every Tuesday. We let him eat cake in Wayne, Michigan. Damn. My cake has been split in half. There we go. Finally got her. Finally fucking did it. I'm so proud of myself. Alright, this chair is way too close to me. But yeah. So this is after hours. Wayne County Audit. Hangout. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Lucky. That's what war does to people. Good shit. I'd like to dedicate this video to all the Blue Falcons out there. Your time is up, Blue Falcons. So Tim Waltz might not be getting away with his fraud enabling. Well, that'd be nice. One can only dream, right? Retard Tim Waltz might be held accountable. That'd be a good start.